Bones are amazing things. They hold us up. They support us. They make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater. My name is Aaron, and I'm playing Sam Feluge.
My name is Ellie, and I'm playing Archi.
My name is Jeff, and I'm playing Jerr Lan.
This is Jeremy playing Julian Illix.
This is Johnny playing Chime North.
And I'm Jordan, and I don't know what I'm doing. So, we are finalizing our last character spotlight episode. The last one left, Sam.
Aaron is grinning from ear to ear.
I love the way this fell.
So, we said, give a quick commentary. How is it to have all these loose ends and then weeks to plan what you're going to do?
So, to be honest, I had most of it already planned as we were going through the session last time.
He's like sending me direct messages while we go through the last recording session, going, this is what's happening next.
Each other character spotlight really gave me some ideas on things to do, and so it was definitely a fun one.
So where would you like to begin?
So we're going to begin, it was shortly after we got out of the city, but Jerr had just given me some advice on which berries were poisonous and which ones were edible. And we're going to start that evening.
Okay.
After the hunters have already returned. It's dark, and I am going to go collect berries in the surrounding area.
Is anybody going with you?
I am not wanting anyone to go with me, but I am trying to be sneaky. So if someone notices me leave, then maybe they could.
Well, one of the things I had to sprinkle in, Julian is actually going to be sitting by the fire with Bear, and he's got like a book, like a notebook, kind of like a journal kind of thing, and he's sketching out some plants for Bear to be aware of and look for when they're out.
Okay.
So if you're trying to sneak, I guess that would be something to sneak by.
Is everyone aware that you are giving Bear that information?
No.
You're not hiding
Okay.
it, but...
No.
But you have not told
It's
the
not like-
whole
It's not
rest
like,
of
oh, I'm going to be teaching Bear or something.
Okay.
No, it was just,
Okay.
we got back, we probably finished eating, and Julian is just going to be like, hey, Bear, come over here.
it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then I am going to attempt to sneak out of the camp. 13, 16, 17?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So nobody noticed me. I am going to start collecting those berries that were identified as poisonous by Jerr.
Okay.
Do I roll for that, or I collect all the poisonous berries? All of them.
Go ahead and roll for that.
Okay. Knowledge, like a memory thing?
Yeah, because you're going to have to go a little bit further along the path because there are things that are, there's a lot of snow here. You got to go find the berries. You gotta like dig them out from the snow because it would be a searching check if I'm.
Oh, if it's a search, then it's perception.
Okay.
So search.
Yeah, search is
I like
perception.
search. All right. So searching for berries, poisonous berries. Okay.
Well then.
Would you like to spend a character point?
Yes.
What'd you get?
I don't know what's the
You got
target.
a 7.
I got a 7.
The target was 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'll spend a character point. A 5. So 13.
Good thing you didn't upgrade your character.
12. Right. So 12.
Okay. So go ahead and describe how you find these berries.
So, as we were walking, I was collecting everything that I could find, so that way I could figure out which ones were, and Jerr just happened to be so helpful. So I kind of remembered that on the side away from away from where the wind would be usually coming from, of the trees, there was less dense snow, and some of the branches were able to get more purchase.
And also leeward side of boulders and things along those lines.
Yeah. So I was able to remember that those areas were going to be a good spot. After collecting them, I am going to bring them back into camp.
Okay. It's getting dark.
I work better in the dark. Initially, I had planned on that being my quote. I am also going to grab a few sticks off the ground on the way back.
Okay.
Whatever I find later.
I will allow that as a free action.
Okay. And then I'm going to make my way back to camp.
Okay.
So I guess who's still awake when I get back to camp?
Well, how long does this take?
I would say probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
Not terribly long. I mean, you're not trying to go terribly far.
No, because
you
I don't want to get lost.
Exactly. So
And I am not a survivalist out in the wilderness.
right. So I'll go ahead. Everybody roll a die. 3 or above, you're awake.
I'm awake.
I'm awake!
5.
Everybody's awake.
Everybody's awake.
We're all awake.
Even Jeff.
Except for Bear.
Bear is like falling on the ground.
Okay.
No.
Julian's still by the fire. He has like a fashioned like crucible type thing, and he's putting some, looks like some leaves of something over the fire, bringing it back and crushing it, and putting it back over the fire, adding some different kinds of leaves. He's making something.
Okay. Where is everybody else? Is everybody else kind of sitting around the fire, or...
Archie's sitting around the fire, using his pinky finger to pick some food out of his teeth.
I'm still trying to figure out my tent.
This is not something
We're
you
sleeping in an igloo.
I'm still trying to figure out my tent.
Joe's just shaking his head over by the fire,
So
wondering why
everybody's
he's
by the
trying
fire.
to figure out a tent.
Okay. Is Katari by the fire, or is she in the igloo?
She would be in the igloo, like because she's in shelter.
Okay. Then I'm going to approach everybody at the fire and put the sticks that I've gathered down there. I gathered some more wood for the fire. Tell everybody that.
Julian takes a look and is like, oh, half of those we're not going to use. They smoke really bad.
Oh.
Well, we can use them when we go hunting.
Okay.
Kind of separates those out.
I'm glad I could be of some help. I think I'm going to be turning in for the night. And I'm going to head over to the igloo.
Okay.
Once there, I'm going to crush those berries into a paste and put it into a leftover wrapper from like our
From an MRE.
yeah, from like the food packaging that we've been using.
Gotcha.
So that way I kind of have it stored. And before turning in, I'm going to get some of the paste onto my finger and spread it around on the inside of Katari's mouth.
All right, that sounds like a scene.
Jeremy's face.
All right, what do you want to do next?
We're going to try to save as much time as we can for the mountain scene. So the next scene, because that pretty much details Sam's more or less trip for the rest of the time as slowly poisoning Katari. So we'll go ahead and jump to the town where we're all trying to get our transportation.
Okay.
As I recall, Jerr had gone to get gone to heal that one pirate.
Well,
Well.
I went off looking for sledges
And
and
ended up
then
healing the
ended
pirate.
up healing the pirate
Okay.
because they wouldn't let me heal the bunch of people in the building.
Archie and Bear went looking for the pirate.
Sam went looking for the dogs.
Yes.
And Chime and Julian, I think, were doing absolutely nothing because no one wanted. Chime and Julian didn't
Well-
want to tell each other what to do.
And I believe there was a discussion about somebody looking after Katari.
I do regular healing checks on Katari, by the way.
I know.
So I would have noticed something. But continue.
And it was discussed that she was up and down the entire trip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yay! Somebody else is telling him that I'm poisoning her. So I'm going to go off into what looks like a hunting area. Like people are set up for hunting trips
Okay.
to go find those dogs.
Do you intend on coming back to the main meeting?
Yes,
Place.
with dogs. So I am going to go looking for these dogs. And what I imagine, is it morning or is it...
Yeah,
It's
it's
midday.
midday.
It's probably midday, around lunchtime.
Okay. Do I find any dog kennels?
Yes, I would imagine that in this kind of environment, like dogs would be a rather logical choice for transportation.
Okay.
Instead of some fantasy locations would have stables. Well, this one has dog kennels.
Okay. So, what I am going to attempt to do, at Shade's insistence, is we like animals. Shade and I decide that everyone said we wanted dogs, so I am going to take some of the dogs.
Sounds fair.
I'm trying to match up the timeline a little bit with what I remember kind of happening at the last one. I just see us having to leave in a hurry because I'm going to attempt to steal dogs. Like a sled team of dogs.
Nothing good ever happens in a RPG when you try to steal transportation.
Why do you think he's doing?
It's a holiday. We're closed.
At least it's not a submarine.
Yes. I once tried to steal a submarine, and it was just a recreational vehicle, too.
But I'm not stealing the transportation, just the animals.
Bear and Archie going around looking for the actual sleds, so...
Right. I just was told to go get the animals. I'm doing my part of the team. Because Sam is definitely a team player outside of killing Atari. And I stand by that, because you've never seen Sam intentionally try to hurt any of our team members.
Yes.
I think.
Okay, so the kennels are rather low buildings, like single-story huts, essentially, that have been made out of, like, stones piled together and then covered in dirt, like, because they wanted basically they made mud and they froze the mud over like a stone wall type of thing to try and hold things together rather well. And then obviously with snow and everything compacting on it, it would hold together quite nicely. Mm-hmm. So these are rather low buildings. They're kind of long. The kennel owners actually have like a little apartment built into it, so that they live there because they got to take care of the dogs in the evenings, and it's just for security reasons. People try to steal dogs all the time because they are valuable.
Okay.
So you would not be the first to try this particular method of acquisition.
Okay. Are there any of the kennels that have less activity? Is there anyone that there's not somebody sitting outside of, or that I could see someone moving in?
Well, if you remember correctly, the town has recently been hit by a bit of a illness.
Uh-huh.
So there is a lot less activity in the town than there would normally be just in the first place. But that probably means that everybody is staying inside.
Okay.
Trying to keep warm while they recover.
Then I am going to approach one on the furthest side away from the rest of everything else.
Okay.
So try to get, as far out where I'm not going to be in the middle of everything, and I'm going to attempt to sneak in to the kennel and try to untie some dogs.
Are you going to use any of Shade's abilities at this point, or?
I actually don't know how much of Shade's abilities would be helpful outside of being dark, which would be highly suspicious.
Weren't you doing things at Chime's house, like to get into the house?
Yes, to get myself into or out of, and this being a solid ice structure, it does not work because there has to be a gap.
Gotcha.
So is there only one door, or are there windows?
There are some windows.
Okay. So yes, I will attempt to slip through the window at the kind of the back of
the back of the kennel, like right into where the dogs are.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Looking through the window, is there one that's kind of like Sam dies here, gets mauled by dogs to death? So I am going to attempt to get into one of the windows that's kind of near where the kennels are. Looking through the windows, do I see somebody sitting inside?
Yes.
Okay. Is it dark inside there?
It seems to be fairly decently lit. They don't have a ton of electrical lights like you would have in a major city, but they do have some rigged up. It sounds like you can hear a generator going, and where there's like only a few like bulb lights, you can see like some oil lanterns and things in other parts of the hallway to where illumination would be needed, like more in the spot area.
Okay. I have one of my spells, Nyctophobia. Make the guy afraid of the dark. So I'm going to attempt to make... Is it one guy sitting in there?
Yeah.
You haven't used this one since season 1.
I know. I'm going to make him afraid of the dark.
Okay.
Tried to use it on Julian. The first time you tried to do it, you tried to use it on Julian.
Ooh. 30. And target number 19.
Okay, I guess you get it.
And pretty much it makes him a quivering mass. He can't do anything when he's in the dark. And then I'm going to go... Can I hear where the generator is coming from?
Yeah, it
Okay.
sounds like it's very faint humming, so it sounds like it might be on the opposite end of the building from where you are.
Okay, I'm going to go cut the cord coming off of it.
Okay.
Or actually just see if I can turn it off. So is there an on-off switch? Or
No.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll go ahead and cut the line. Cut the cord, or where is the fuel coming from, I guess? So, are there any fuel hoses exposed?
It looks like there's a tank that's built next to it. There are some lines that seem to be going down. It looks like it's actually shielded because they don't want the snow getting on the actual lines themselves because that could cause the fuel to expand.
So they're not thin lines?
No, it's not like just a hose coming off of it. There's like an actual metal casing built around it.
Okay, then I'm going to cut the line coming from the generator into the building.
Okay.
And now I'm going to go...
All the dogs are barking like it's the howls and...
Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and start getting some gear for the dogs. While this guy is over here screaming and crying and wetting himself.
I didn't say that.
I'm going to gather the gear and try to gather a few dogs.
Okay. The dogs don't recognize your scent.
Okay.
And so, how well can you see in the darkness?
Barry. 31, 33 for my seeing heat signatures.
Okay. So you can...
Target 20.
Okay, fine.
So yeah. Actually, rather than using the heat vision, something we haven't used very much is the just low light vision.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So you can see the dogs. There's about 20 or so, each in like kennels with like maybe 3 or 4 dogs per kennel.
Okay. I'm going to approach each one, see if any of the dogs seem less... Do they seem hostile, or they're just...
Yeah, they don't recognize you. They've been trained to work with people that they don't know, but this is like the darkness and the screaming and everything
They
like
sense
that.
shade.
That's causing some less than advantageous situations.
Okay. So, are there any that seem less hostile? Like the lead pack member, or...
I don't think so. I think there's a pretty
Okay.
strong level of...
Then I'm going to approach one of the kennels of 4 or 5.
Okay.
And I'm going to start trying to talk calming, soothing noises to the animals, and just kind of talk them down to where they'll be. It's okay. I'm here to
Nice
help.
doggy, good doggy.
Yeah. Here, poochie, poochie, poochie.
Do you have any meat?
Is there any There's some in the building.
Is there?
There has to be.
Go ahead and roll to find it.
Roll a search.
Oh gosh.
I rolled a 5. I can use up to 3 character points.
Yeah.
How much is it going to be? I mean, because it's a kennel, so they're stored here. The
Right.
dog food is here.
But today is a Thursday, and the hunting to restock the larder is pretty much... That's going to happen on Fridays.
Okay.
Another reason to not like Thursday.
So, then I'm not going to bother with the meat.
Okay.
I'm going to start trying to calm them down a little bit using animal handling.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Fate Point. That doubles the number of dice,
Correct.
not the number of extra
pips.
No.
And
Okay.
So if it goes over 3, does that get...
No.
it's a plus. It's still,
It's
It'd be
just
plus 4.
17, 21.
Okay. Good enough.
All right.
So you start, good doggy, kind doggy.
Yeah.
Sit.
Hey, Poochie, Poochie, Poochie. You're such a pretty puppy.
Everything you would say to your own dog.
Yeah. So they're calm, and I get some of them gathered up.
Okay. How many do you want to have? I mean, because feasibility, you're a rather petite individual.
I mean, they're behaving at this point.
Well, for the moment. You never know. I mean, I took my dog for a walk this morning, and my wife nearly got her arm jerked out when the dog saw a couple of rabbits. So,
Squirrel.
exactly.
So I'm going to take 5.
Okay.
Put on their gear and number of leashes,
Yep.
harnesses, and head back to camp.
Sounds good.
And I show back up. I found some dogs.
who's at camp? Yeah, well, obviously Chime and
Julian.
Is Jerr back yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me even or odd. Even you're back, odd you're not.
Even.
So you've just returned from healing the captain of the Plucky Parrot.
So, as you would come up, as Sam would come in, you would see Julian from a distance. You see Julian and Jerr having a conversation, and looks like Julian is adamantly trying to convince Jerr of something.
Jerr is just trying to relay something.
So you guys are kind of butting heads a little bit.
Raised voices.
Julian's is.
Can I hear it?
Can you?
Yes. As you're approaching,
Okay.
you can start hearing Julian's voice.
What do I hear? What do I hear Julian say?
This is to try and save Katari.
Let me worry about Katari's health.
It has to do with the elemental. I know what I'm doing. I have done this sort of before.
That's what we're taking her to the animal preserve for.
We need to try and do something along the way as well. Otherwise, this is going to be a pointless trip, and we're going to have to dig a grave somewhere halfway through.
Well, remember, it's not just Katari. It's also this Archi fellow that's with us.
Yes. All right. And Julian is going to get fed up, and he's going to be like, "So, regardless of what goes on, you would try to heal anybody on this journey, right?"
Yes.
All right. Aiden turns around and he walks into the igloo.
I found some dogs.
We may not need them.
Oh. So that spell Nyctophobia only lasts 10 minutes. So I imagine at this point it has worn off.
There might be a hue and cry when dogs are noticed missing.
Oh, I did not know that. So, from inside the igloo, you hear Julian yelling out to Jerr. He's like, you might want to come in and check if I pass out.
Jerr is going to duck into the igloo.
So,
Do you want to stake down the dog's leads, or what do you want to do?
yeah. Yeah, because we have the dogs. We might not need them. And we're still waiting for a sledge. Or are we?
Well, that was what Jerr was
Oh,
after.
you were supposed to go find that.
Yeah,
Okay, that's right.
couldn't find one.
Because Archie and Bear,
They were
Went
after
to the Plucky Parrot as well.
yeah.
All right. So, what Julian was doing, he was making out of things he was finding in the wilderness. He was making a version of that drug that he got in the city. And he wants to try and use it to stabilize Katari.
Okay.
But he wants to not just test it on Katari. He wants to actually test it.
Like on himself?
He was going to test it on himself.
Gotcha.
So, that's what he's going to do.
Jeff is like, no. What?
Alright.
Okay. That sounds like it's going to be a medicine check.
Can we roll survival first for the actual making
you
of
made
the...
it right.
If I made it right?
Nope.
No?
We're just going to see what happens. You're taking a risk.
Alright.
You got to take a risk.
Medicine's under knowledge.
Yep. Character points might be spent. 11.
Well, you're successfully able to administer it.
Was it the right concoction?
No.
What? Can I use a character point?
You could, but the target number is 20.
You're at 11.
Character point number 1.
Ooh.
Character point number 2.
14.
Bam. Bam, bam, bam.
Those are like the two.
Those weren't helpful.
Not
No.
at all.
So I'm at 14. I got one more character point,
You have
and the
to get a
target is
6.
20. I've got to get a 6.
But if you don't do it, now it's a waste for those other two. It's
Yeah.
lost cause fallacy or lost effort fallacy.
Going for a 6 right here. Character point number 3. 6!
So you start feeling queasy. Don't know if it's going to work properly or not. Like, if it's going to be the proper dose.
You didn't just kill yourself.
Yes.
Well, knowing what it's supposed to do, I could kind of sense if it is actually working close to it regularly. It's coming at a bad time, but it's supposed to slow down your cognitive functions.
Coming at a very bad time.
Okay.
So if he made it right, he's going to start to feel lethargic. He's going to start to not make sense when he's speaking.
Yeah.
He's going to sort of look like and act like he's drunk.
And then it's 20 to administer properly.
All right, I will allow that. I will allow that.
So in my mind, the Nyctophobia spell has worn off of the kennel handler, and they will start trying to figure out where these dogs went.
Yes.
And I did walk right by the guy in relatively dark. So what I imagine happening is that there's now an outcry coming from that because it's a community of people.
Right. And also, the theft of dogs doesn't just affect the owner. It's considered a community issue. So as you're starting to hear those cries coming, where do the dogs go? And you're seeing people running out and everything like that. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break.
Welcome to Very Random Encounters, where we play tabletop RPGs and randomly determine as much as possible.
Remember playing with Legos and swapping the people's heads and limbs to create horrid abominations that God forgot?
Our show is what it would be like if those rejected attempts at the human form had to go out and save the day.
We turn the nonsense into a story with a nice message, like how friendship is stronger than a mind-controlled goblin jazz band.
Hey, that's a thing that really happened.
Find Very Random Encounters wherever you randomly determine to listen to podcasts.
And we're back.
So hearing the outcry and knowing that me plus 5 dogs leave a pretty clear trail,
Yeah.
I'm going to stick my head into the igloo and say, guys, I think we need to be leaving, like, now.
As you stick your head into the igloo, Julian is stumbling out. And he's like, "Oh my goodness, that works. That works really, really, really quickly. Where do these dogs come from?"
Archie and Bear show up.
I would like to attempt a heal others on
Drive out
on Julian.
But Bear comes up and is like, oh, neat! Dogs!
Where did you get these?
from over there. I don't think they're happy. I think we really need to be leaving soon.
Julian is up, just spinning around, looking at it, just like, "Why is the sky green?"
But aren't they so sweet? As I'm getting down bad.
Jeff, do you want to roll heal others?
Yes.
Trying to
Okay,
figure out what
two
you
things. What's wrong with this lunatic over here? And do you even know how to run a sled team?
How hard can it be? And I don't have to run the sled team. I just got the dogs.
I mean, who's running it then?
Sam's looking around.
Everybody kind of looks at each other.
13, difficulty 8,
Okay, fine.
and then it adds +2 to my medicine.
I'm assuming either Jerr or Julian. We're all running sled team.
Good Julian.
Yeah, but I could try
He's
and
trying.
So you're telling
It's a good
me
character.
Crazy
Yeah,
green
yeah.
sky guy over here is going to run the sled team right now.
We'll find out.
I like him better this way.
Julian looks past, like, turns his head, he's like, "You're like, who? Who are you talking about?"
Your best friend, right next to you.
It's a dog sitting right next to you.
16.
Well, you would be able to heal him if there was something physically wrong with him. It's just got to work through his system.
I know.
Apparently it was the wrong dosage because it worked really fast.
Okay, guys. Seriously, they're going to be coming any minute now. I think we should start heading out somehow.
We don't have a way other than on foot right now.
Well, on foot.
We may have a ride with the plucky parrot.
Oh?
Yeah, I just spent the afternoon healing their captain.
Oh.
Wait, what? How did you convince that fool? How did you even get to meet the captain?
I healed him.
Julian's
Archie's
like,
going to grumble.
"Wait, who's coming?"
I'm coming, says Bear.
I think we're all going.
Yes,
All
we're
right.
all going.
Well, Julian's like, well, let's go then.
Someone
And he
grab
turns,
Katari, and
and he
I'm
starts
going
walking in slow motion.
So
Someone grab
fast.
Katari, and I'm going to put one of Julian's arms around my shoulder and say, "Come on, buddy."
Let's keep going, guys. Don't get left behind. And he's walking super slow.
What are you going to do with the dog, Sam?
So now that I know that we have a way
No.
using it,
Still not a guaranteed way, but...
now that I know that we might have a way and we have no sledge, I'm only going to take one of them.
You're going to take one of the dogs.
Yeah, we only the other ones.
Archie raises an eyebrow and says, "No, you're not.
Not going to leave them or not going to take the one?
We're not going to leave them."
Okay, well, we can grab them.
I grab the leads.
So, you're stealing a whole bunch of dogs, and you're taking off in a pirate ship. Rather than leave the dogs to be found by the people who own them.
Julian raises a fist in the air. It's like, no one is left behind!
I take the lead so Archie can take Katari.
Okay. So yes, we're taking the dogs.
At least to the ship.
Yeah, at least as far as the
Wait,
ship.
can't we attach a dog to Katari's stretcher?
Alright, fine.
1 dog per person, dog attached to Katari's stretcher.
And then we head towards the pirate ship.
Yeah, which is on this, like, the sky towers that are closer to town. So you're heading back towards the area that you just left, and the people are looking for the dogs.
Like directly towards them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be...
I'm going to call back. We might not want to take the dogs with us if we want to leave this place.
No one gets left behind!
Yes. I heard you the first time.
Why exactly did you take these dogs without us making sure we had a sledge? I said
Because I thought everybody was going to do their part.
So
Clearly,
I said find dogs so we could arrange purchase.
And I found the dogs.
But not to arrange purchase.
Who purchased?
Nobody, that's the problem.
Oh. So the fact that I was the only one who was willing to pull my weight around here. And Jerr, clearly. So, I do think Jerr's right. We're either going to have to let the dogs go or fight our way through.
I don't feel up for a fight, especially not with Julian in this state and Katari still in the state that she's in.
Chine, what do you think? Let them go?
Yes. I say we let them go back to their masters.
So
if we get a sledge, we can find more dogs.
Okay. I'm going to drop my lead.
And I'm assuming Chinese as well.
And Jerr does.
What about Archie?
Archie keeps moving forward.
Archie wants a dog!
With a grip on the lead.
What does Bear do?
That actually means one of your personal goals, so...
Oh, that's funny. What does Bear do?
Can I keep one?
Come on, we're going.
We'll figure that out when we get there. And keep heading towards the pirate ship.
Do the dogs go towards their masters?
Or do they run off?
Okay.
They start pulling on the leads, trying to get back to voices they recognize.
So yeah, when we let go of them, they just
take off. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of whining coming from the one that Archie maintains.
Jasper, calm down!
Wow, he named it already.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Can I roll for animal here?
Yes, you can.
Archie's gonna try to let out a special whistle, maybe?
Okay.
11.
Okay. It seems to work for the moment. They start paying attention to you because as an android, you are actually able to do a hypersonic whistle. So that definitely piques their interest. And everybody else can't hear it, so they're all like, okay.
Good boy, Jasper.
So where are the people who are looking for the dogs in relation to our line of travel? I mean, are we running right at them, or is it more like...
It's more of a hue and cry kind of thing where their people are going every direction.
Oh, okay. Then keep making our way towards the plucky parrot.
It's the big red one over there.
Julian has taken off his coat. It's like, man, it's hot.
Keep the jacket on.
But it's hot!
Keep the jacket on. I don't care.
Does he drop the jacket?
No, he's
okay.
carrying it.
Do we successfully make it to the plucky parrot? As in our current state, do we successfully make it to the plucky? We all end up in prison here.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and make a...
You know where it is.
Running?
I was thinking running or reflexes or something along those lines.
Or a skills challenge.
Well, yeah, essentially. I was going to...
a 5 success skills challenge.
I persuade all of us to go faster.
I was going to say 3, but,
Okay, 3 is good.
If
I meant 5 among the group, not
yes,
5 per... Okay.
Yes. Like, so if 3 people hit a 15 on running, target number of 15.
Oh, so you wanted all of you running.
Yeah. We're just making it easy. Like,
easy?
I didn't like that. Okay.
No.
You get to the plucky parrot without too much difficulty. And of course you can spend fate points, character points as needed.
Okay.
What's the penalty for Julian's drugs?
That's why I see this.
How many dice do you have?
All ones.
In running, I have 3D plus 2.
basically 1v to all actions.
It'd be all actions because everything takes brain power.
Right. Yeah, I was basically going to treat it as wounded. So yeah.
All right. All right. So we're all running. If 3 people get it, we make it.
Correct.
2D plus 2.
Can we roll for Bear because he's got 5D?
Alright, so we know Archie and Bear will make it.
Okay. And Jeff made it. Yeah, we got it.
I'm not even going to spend character points.
Nope.
I rolled a 0. I rolled a 2 because I have plus 2.
You said 5.
18.
Okay.
10, 18.
25.
Julian got only 11.
I got a 8. Where'd you get?
I got a plus 2.
Yay! So you were all able to make it.
Julian wasn't the slowest.
No.
Chime is not used to running in the snow, and they weren't really planning. You all weren't really planning to do this, so he hadn't put his snowshoes back on. So he's like, you're struggling through.
Yes.
And I'm gonna, just for effect, say that the only reason Julian wasn't last is because it was a downward slope toward the plucky parrot, and he actually tripped and was rolling down the hill part of the way.
He gets to play parrot as a giant snowball.
I just watched Willow.
Love that movie.
Mad Mardigan. So you make it to the plucky parrot. The guards are like, "Who goes there?"
Oh, it's Jerr, the guy that healed your captain.
And it is I, Julian Illix.
Him we know. You we don't.
This is my team that I was telling you guys about.
All right. So these are the people that need passage.
Yes.
All right, fine. But you'll have to uphold your end of the bargain to work as our medic.
Yes, as long as we're in the air with you, I'll be medic.
Okay.
And can we leave now?
Yes, the sooner the better.
Jerry, go ahead and make me a persuasion roll to try and convince them to leave faster.
Julian walks up to the guy and puts his hands on the shoulders like, "You are a kind gentleman, sir," and hugs him.
Take 2 away from your roll.
Can I assist?
7.
Can I assist in the persuasion?
How do you want to assist?
We need quick passage out of here, because as you hear all the shouting,
A friend made a poor life choice.
yes. As you can see, we also have wounded with us who need a warm, dry place where we can treat them.
All right, go ahead and roll me persuasion.
26.
Okay, I guess that works.
Julian's like, "I'm fine. It's gonna wear off," and he looks at his watch. Wow, that's moving really fast. It should be tomorrow already. I can't. Whatever.
I push Julian up onto the ship.
Okay, so you all go up the tower and board the ship.
With the 2 dogs.
Yes, with the 2 dogs.
There's 2.
Yes, there was 2.
Archie and Bear.
Archie and Bear each got 1.
They would.
Yep. And then we take off.
And scene.
Yeah.
Scene.
I got a dog.
So I have
You didn't
2
have it
more
with the
scenes
next
in
scene.
mind. Yep. One being a short one.
Okay.
And it would be us sitting around, the entire team, sitting around eating a meal together, eating dinner
Okay.
on the ship.
Okay, I was going to say before or after?
Yeah.
On or after?
On the ship, we're all kind of sitting around, the 2 dogs kind of on the deck near us, and everybody just having a meal together. As well as some, and it looks relaxed. And I guess part of that would be, some joking, some conversation. And my only question in that would be, do we each have our own cabins in this?
I would imagine not.
I would imagine not.
So we're all sleeping on the deck.
Or hammocks.
Yes, but we're all kind of... Okay. So during this time, Sam has not been poisoning Guitari because of lack of privacy. It's been very difficult to find time where someone is not around.
It's really awful when you cannot perform your nefarious deeds because other people are watching you all the time.
However, are there any flags, bits of cloth on the?
Well, I mean, you have an entire canvas balloon over your head.
So there's patches.
Torches.
No, it's filled with hydrogen. And most of the light comes from chemical lights.
Ooh, okay. Alright, so we are just sitting on the deck having a meal.
And meal conversation. Yeah.
Conversation. Julian is being kind of quiet though. And you just see him kind of he's just kind of staring off into wherever. And then I'm imagining there's two lights on either side of the deck where they're sitting.
Okay.
And you just see him kind of looks at one, looks at the other, and he keeps just going back and forth between the two lights. And then as he keeps going back and forth, when he looks at one, you can start to notice it actually starts to get a little dimmer. And he looks at the other one, and it starts to get a little dimmer. And then he kind of snaps back to it, shakes out of what he's doing, and then his dreads just kind of like
flare back
like there was this gust of wind. And he's just like, and he starts laughing.
Well, that was weird.
I think Julian's been taking some more of that stuff.
No.
So you think we'll be able to actually convince the crew to take us all the way to the animal reserve?
I don't know. Jer's been the one who's been working with him. What do you say, Jer?
Well, there's a station on the other side of the mountains, just outside the preserve.
So we can at least get that far.
Yeah.
How's your medicaling? The crew been going? Is it everybody doing all right?
Yeah, everyone's doing fine.
Have you checked him out?
I don't need to
Julian's
check out.
fine.
Okay.
Julian's fine.
Just had a little
hair
freak out
thing
right
was
there.
weird. The whole hair thing was weird.
I always thought he needed to be checked out.
I don't know. I think at times all of us could probably use good checking out.
Yeah, probably. But the purpose of this journey is to check actually two people out. Well,
yes,
one person and one other being out.
Yes.
I would say people.
Oh,
Do you call yourself people?
Archie looks up from Jasper and looks at him. You said something?
Needs to be checked out.
Yes. Cannot agree more.
How has Katari been doing?
Better.
Good.
Yeah, she seems to be doing better now than when we were on foot. I think being in a warm place is helping.
I'd imagine that the cold takes it out of you.
Sure feels better than me in here.
And also giving some room for the elemental to work without resistance from the physical body being sick.
Yeah.
A klaxon starts going off.
What's that mean?
What's going on?
I guess I move and try to look out the windows and see if we can see anything.
Do any of the crew run by?
Yeah, crew starts running by.
I stand up. Is there anything we can do?
Get below.
Closer to the part that's going to be damaged when we land.
No. There's a Belisarian man of war behind us.
Oh. Down below I go!
Some of us might be able to help.
Yeah, we can help.
I mean, depending on what are we fighting or running?
We're running. You don't want to tangle with the man of war.
I can help us run.
Okay.
I could possibly slow them down.
Oh, what are you guys going to do?
I'm an air proxy. As a team, we have some special skills, and an air proxy giving you guys a boost or giving them a shove.
I'll go down to where Katari is at and make sure her bed is braced and everything.
Jerr, what do you want to do?
I'm going to basically to the med station to wait for if anyone needs it.
Archie, what do you want to do?
Scoops up Jasper and starts running down to below.
Bear follows.
He pets Jasper. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Jasper is like a 60-pound dog. Just
doesn't matter.
Just to just to put the mental image in everybody else's mind. Archie carrying.
I would assume Bear also picks up the dog and goes.
What does Bear's dog's name? Please tell me it's dog.
It's Grizzly.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
And Julian, what are you doing?
He's going to stay with whatever crewmen that we're talking to. Just saying, how close are they?
They're about a quarter mile behind us.
How close is that in kilometers?
Less than a kilometer.
Much less than a kilometer.
Yeah. So Sam is going to move towards the back of the ship.
Okay.
Julian follows.
And so Sam is going to attempt to create wind to slow down the man of war behind us.
Okay.
Push against the man of war.
So basically
you go
create
forward.
a turbulent...
Try and push them backwards and push us forward.
Not really trying to push us forward, but more slow them down. Rather than... Because I would hate to... Yeah, I guess that's every action equal out.
Opposite reaction.
Okay, that's some good rolls. 28, 30.
Okay. So, are you creating like a just a patch of rough air? Or are you creating like a vortex, or?
No, more like a strong headwind.
As you're doing it, Julian doesn't say anything yet, but just reaches his hand out towards the other ship. He's standing there for a long time.
So I just rolled for piloting to make sure that the plucky parrot stays on course,
Okay.
and I failed horribly. I rolled a 4.
So we get blown off course.
Yes.
What happens to the man of war?
The man of war also, you can see it like all of a sudden drop about 100 meters or so. Wow. So it's like whoosh, like straight down. But also at the same time, you feel the plucky parrot like list forward.
Okay. Yeah.
Like pushing the back bow up. Everything that's not bolted down starts sliding towards the front of the ship.
To include us.
To include you.
Which is why I brace Katari's bent.
Is there a bulkhead or any kind of wall behind that where we're standing? I mean, I guess is it a big open?
We went to the back, right?
Yeah.
So is there like a rail there? Where we just
you can grab it.
Okay, hang on.
Go ahead and roll me a reflexes roll.
5.
11.
You're able to hold on. You're not.
Okay. So that back to my initial question? Is it like a big open thing, or is it like actually are there walls, or is it?
It's a little more open.
Okay.
But basically, what I'm imagining is that the actual ship, the gondola itself, is a bit of like a warren of decks and rooms and hallways and things like that. So once you start going down, like you're in a more open room, but you're hitting the wall that leads like to the hallway.
So I slam it.
Yes.
Well, with Sam no longer there next to Julian, Julian's going to try and do this on his own.
Okay.
Drop a fate point on this. Double my dice. He is reaching out and trying to connect with any possible air elementals on the man of war.
Okay.
Target is the 24. Highly. With 10D, it should be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If you roll all 1s and 2s.
Oh, I got a 6 on the wild die, so there we go.
I see 2 other 6s there.
46. Yeah, 46.
Okay, so you see some air elementals like that are basically the reason it hasn't dropped further is that air elementals on the bottom of the man of war were pushing down to stabilize the vessel. They have proxies that are like part of the crew that are like stationed there to provide like extra support and can actually speed things along with that. So the ship does have like, you can sense about 6 air elementals that are stationed pretty well.
Now, is this a dirigible like everything else?
Yes, this is his own. There is a streak of lightning that arches out from the man of war towards the plucky parrot.
Ooh. Julian is going to persuade, at that same time, one of the air elementals to puncture the wound of the man of war.
Persuade. So you see this lightning. If you look very carefully, you can see a fire proxy standing on. There's actually like a widow's walk on the top of the zeppelin, and you can see a fire proxy
who stayed up there when it fell.
Yes, like tied down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like tied down, lashed down, and you can just see like it goes over and it hits the plucky parrot's balloon, and all of a sudden your ship starts dropping.
Theirs is about to. Well, no, theirs is probably about to blow up.
You're trying to persuade the
One of the arrow mouths to puncture their balloon.
Okay.
And I did not know that the fire proxy was on top of the balloon.
Nope.
So
Your target number is going to be 25.
should be good. It's 90.
So this is happening at the same time fire proxy is shooting.
Exactly.
Let's see, 25 and change.
Okay. So you see like this burst of lightning that hits your balloon, and then all of a sudden there's like this blossom. The gondola just all of a sudden starts dropping as there's this huge thunder burst of fire that ricochets through the air, and it starts. The ball starts expanding outward and outward and outward. Your balloon is descending faster to be able. The piloting needs a 20 to be able to manage to go down properly, and you got it.
Hey! On 4D.
12 plus 9 is 21. But the plucky parrot is damaged quite significantly. Throughout the ship, you hear more klaxons going off, and you hear, brace for impact! And it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down. In a huge flume of snow, it slams into the side of a mountain. And it starts sliding down, and that's pretty much where we're going to have to end. So we're going to pick up with the scene on the mountainside at the beginning of next episode. Find out where that mysterious shot came from. Thanks for listening to this episode of Bone Throwers Theater.
Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Ellie, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is bonethrowerstheater. You can also look us up on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.